Most people think of a Roth IRA as a retirement account, but have you ever thought of a Roth IRA as a way to day trade? Well, in this video, I want to tell you guys how you can do that on the Webull platform with a Roth IRA. Now, this is of course not a recommendation to go out willy-nilly and start randomly day trading stocks in your Roth IRA, maxing it out and then losing all your money every single month, every single year, only to put that maxed contribution back in and then lose it all again the next year. It's not a recommendation to that, but if you are someone who is looking for an additional account or you want to take advantage of some of the perks that you get with a Webull account, this actually could be a really interesting video for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to be using the Webull platform, and we're going to show you how you can utilize a Roth IRA to take day trades, believe it or not. But we'll also cover the limitations behind this. It's not like, okay, I now have a free margin account to go day trade. Not exactly. Okay, so first thing first, there'll be a link to Webull if you want to get signed up down below in the video description and pinned comment. They're giving away some free stocks when you go ahead and do so. You click on that link, you go sign up for an account. You can also open an IRA. I currently have one. You can open up multiple IRAs. You just can't exceed the max contribution across all your IRAs. So the max contribution for 2022 is $6,000 if you're under the age of 50, okay? So if I go ahead and deposit $6,000 into my Roth IRA in Webull, well, I can't go and deposit another $6,000 into my Roth IRA with TD Ameritrade, okay? You got to make sure that that $6,000 is utilized for all your IRAs across whatever portfolios and accounts you have, okay? So if I go ahead and do that, great. I have already done so on a different platform, which actually happens to be TD Ameritrade. But then I was like, you know what? Let me try Webull. Let me see how this works on Webull. And what I discovered actually might surprise you. So let's dive into it. A couple days back, I deposited about $100 into my Roth IRA, turned 100 into 118, then took a day trade and lost about $15 the other day. But what I want to do is I want to show you what's really, really cool. So I took this day trade yesterday. Okay, we can go into the account history here and show you that in just 1 second. But we are looking at a Roth IRA account with essentially $100 and $103.05. It is currently sitting there as cash. Now, it says settled cash on the left-hand side, unsettled cash will be below. This is where it gets very, very interesting because, of course, we know that we can take day trades with settled cash in a cash account. What you'll also notice is that below this, what are you seeing? In a traditional Webull margin account, you would see in an account that's below $25,000 how many day trades you have left. Well, in this situation, that's not showing up because it's essentially a cash account. Now, here are my trading records on the right-hand side. I will zoom on in. So we had a buy here on these SPY calls for July 15th expiration. We had a buy there at roughly 14:58 Eastern time, and then 15:10 we sold those calls for a loss. Okay, so we lost about $15, $16, whatever the number was, plus about 12 cents in fees as well. So again, buy and sell on the same day. You can see the fill time right here. Notice that today, right now, is Friday, July 1st. Okay, if we jump back over to Webull, this was on June 30th. So this was yesterday. This was a Thursday. I made this transaction. What are we seeing on the left-hand side? Our settled cash is at 103. We have no unsettled cash. Why is it the case? I took a day trade. Now on the next day, those funds are available again to trade because that's Webull's current settlement rules when it comes to option trading. So here we go. Are there restrictions? We're going to talk about that in 1 second. But first, I want to cover this. Here are the settlement rules for Webull. They have stock trades that settle in 2 business days following the trading date. That's T+2. Option trades. Option trades settle 1 business day following the trade date. Okay, so if I open and close that position on, let's say, Thursday, Friday, that money is settled. However much money I used, it's settled. So now we jump back here, and that's why we have $103 in settled cash. I know for some people this is kind of confusing, but for some who are starting to see the light bulb go off, you guys kind of get it, right? You see how this works? You can take these day trades. It's essentially like a cash account, and it's your IRA. Now, when it comes to restrictions on IRA transaction, they don't allow for margin trading, shorting securities, spread option strategies. So you're limited in terms of what you can do. But if you're looking to buy calls, buy puts, and play the upside, play the downside, be a trader, let's say be a day trader, you can do that. That's not restricted here, okay? Your account balance cannot go negative, and you can day trade with only settled funds that follow the rules of cash accounts. This is something that no one talks about, but hopefully now you guys have a really good feel. Also, notice George behind me sitting on the ground. He's just hanging out. But this is really, really cool. So you see how this works. I could now take day trades in my Roth IRA. So all I got to do is have that Roth IRA opened, make sure it's funded, and I am good to go. Now, if you're going to trade stocks here, again, it will take 2 days to settle. So let's say that I took a trade here, let's say on TNA. This is the daily small cap 3X ETF. I did here. Now, I took this trade on the 16th. I sold these things for a nice profit on the 28th. But when I sold them on the 28th, it took 2 days after I sold for the funds from that transaction to officially settle in my account. So that's the big difference here. You can day trade, but you can day trade options that will settle the next day. So essentially, the Roth IRA on Webull is a cash account that you could use if you wanted to day trade. Now, again, let's just say that I had $500 funded into my Roth IRA. Now, my max contribution, I'm under 50 years old, obviously. My max contribution is $6K. Let's say I contribute $5,500 into my TD Ameritrade IRA. I buy some VOO. I buy, let's say, some Apple stock. I buy some Amazon. I buy a couple stocks that I want to hold for the long term on, this pullback and whatever, and I let them do their thing. And I've got a good chunk of change working for me there. I don't have to worry. But over here, I say, hey, you know what? Let me just toss the $500 left that I can contribute over onto Webull. I deposit that $500, and let's just say that every day or every trade that I want to take, I'm going to trade with $100. My position size is $100, so I go find options that will fit that $100 size. And now I can go out and I can take a day trade. And let's say I take 2, 3, 4 day trades. I use up $400 of my funds. I'll still have $100 of settled cash if I want to take one more trade, but let's say I don't. The next day, those $400, as long as I buy and sell, I make sure I close out the position the day prior, all that money is now settled cash in my account the next day. So guess what? The next day, let's say I did that on a Monday, Tuesday, I now have $500, which means I have 5 trades if my position size is $100 per trade. So you guys can kind of see how this works. And I think it could be a really good tool to use if you want to practice, if you want to play around with options, if you want to just play around with day trading and practice some of those skills. Now, if you don't want to use your actual money, we have a video covering how you can paper trade options trading with fake money. Highly recommend you check out that video from just a few days back. Check out our Webull playlist and we'll link that video in the description box down below. Make sure you are subscribed. Again, link down below to get signed up with Webull. Build your Roth IRA out, fund it if you would like to, get some free stocks in the process. Any other links, resources down below, as well as a webinar covering 3 trading signals to add to your arsenal for free. Again, all those links in the video description box down below. Check it out. Hope to see you guys in a future video. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button if you got something out of the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.